Hi folks, welcome to Crisco's Corner. Are you tired of the same old blah 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 from the media? Do you like unfiltered commentary? Would you like to go back to the days when our rights meant something? Well, you've come to the right place, Cordisco's Corner. The fight to get back the ideals of our founders will be long and hard. Please support the channel by subscribing. And as always, thank you for your support. Hi folks, welcome to Crisco's Corner. The Washington Examiner. The conservative source Americans deserve. Huh? Yeah, I agree. The leader of the Proud Boys was arrested in Washington, D.C. on Monday after being charged for burning a Black Lives Matter banner last month while he was in town. Oh, man, the crap's going to hit the fan. 2 days ahead of protests in support of President Trump, Enrique Tarrio, the 36-year-old chairman of the far-right organization, was arrested on Monday when police stopped his vehicle. D.C. police spokesman Dustin Sternbeck said, according to the Washington Post. The Metropolitan Police said Tarrio, who resides in Miami, was charged with one misdemeanor count of destruction of property in connection to a December 12th incident caught on video by Daily Caller reporter Shelley Talbot, in which a Black Lives Matter banner from the Asbury United Methodist Church, an historic black church in the district, was set on fire during protests that turned violent. Well, you have a church in the center of D.C. It's got a huge majority of black people. Of course the whole church is going to be black. Jesus. Police said Tarrio was found with 2 high-capacity gun magazines during the arrest and was charged with possession of a high-capacity feeding device. D.C. has some of the strictest gun laws in the nation. Unbelievable. This is the video there where they turned down the Black Lives Matter flag. The Proud Boys and Trump supporters burned down the Black Lives Matter banner while chanting and cheering. Tarrio said in an interview that after the incident, if he told authorities were to charge him, he would plead guilty. I'll fly there on my own dime, Tarrio told the Washington Post while in Miami. So let me make this simple. I did it. But Tarrio asserted he would not admit to committing a hate crime. Well, he's non-white. He's Cuban and African-American. Not that it matters. This hate crime stuff I can't stand. I mean, if you are a piece of crap and murder a 10-year-old because they're black, or you're a piece of crap and you murder a 10-year-old that's white, you should get a higher penalty for killing the black person? I just don't get that reasoning. I don't. Now, a judge's discretion? Want to add some time? Okay. That's what judges are for, to judge. Granted, a lot of them are liberals, but that's besides the point. Tarrio's arrest precedes planned demonstrations in Washington on Wednesday when Congress meets to certify Electoral College results. President-elect Joe Biden beat Trump by 306 to 232 in electoral votes. The president has promoted a wild protest, sparking fears of counter-protests and violent clashes. Now, all he said was it's going to be wild. This is the Washington Examiner. I thought they would be a little bit more truthful. Washington Mayor Muriel Bowser, she's a real piece of freaking work, activated more than 340 National Guard troops ahead of the demonstration and asked residents to avoid the downtown area in coming days. Isn't that interesting? All these big city Dems, especially the progressive ones like these retards, all of a sudden now are bringing in National Guard to protect the downtown areas. Moron Wheeler is doing it in Portland, and she's doing it in D.C. What was I thinking? I'm sorry. The election is over. They don't have to pretend it's all Trump's fault anymore. Several Republican lawmakers announced the Senate are pledging a long odds effort to contest the electoral votes. That's technically true. And some of them want a commission to conduct a 10-day emergency audit of the election results in states contested by Trump. I'll tell you, I mean, is there direct evidence that enough votes were swayed that would have changed the election? Technically, no. I watched a video today on YouTube that showed a woman counting the same stack of ballots 4 times in a machine. And it wasn't edited and it wasn't spliced together. And then the two, you could tell the 2 supervisors on the side, the guy, he was a little bit bigger, realized that the camera was on and got up and stood between her and the camera. You don't have to be Sherlock Holmes to figure it out. Let's say, well, that's an isolated incident. But these isolated incidents are popping up everywhere. There's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of affidavits about FRAUD. Prove that it's enough to change the results of the election. Well, my understanding is Trump lost the state of Georgia by less than 13,000. That's the thing. I mean, you don't have faith in it anymore. I saw a poll the other day that said that 67%, so we'll say 2/3 of Republicans believe it was stolen. Over 17%, almost 1 in 5 of Democrats think it was stolen. That's a lot for Democrats. And then independents, non-party affiliated people, it was almost 33%, 31 and change. That's almost 1 in 3 independents, almost 1 in 5 Democrats, and 2/3 of Republicans think it was stolen. So what does that do? That undermines confidence. We'll say that it's all bullshit. And Trump's just a poor loser. In all fairness, to you progressives out there, all these oddities, all these irregularities, we'll say they all happen. Bellwether things or a dozen of them, that stood for over 100 years. And all 10, 12, 15 of them all dropped by the wayside. It was one of those weird historical anomalies. And we'll say that it's all true. And Trump really lost. Then why in the world, with all the Democrat swing state governors, and some of their legislatures, and some of their secretaries of state, why in the world did they act as they were guiltier than hell? They were supposed to be people watching ballot counting that were pushed out, had to get a court order to watch ballot counting. And then when they did, they were 50, 100 feet away. And then when they went to court again to get another order, the judge, of course, being a progressive, says, well, were you in the building? Yeah. Well, that's what the statute says. Bang, next case. You look like you're guiltier than hell. When people are filming through windows because you wouldn't allow them in to watch the ballot counting, you put cardboard over windows in major cities so they couldn't see. So if you weren't guilty, what the hell were you hiding? What the hell were you hiding? How is it possible to have 13 more million people vote than there are registered? Everybody knows. It's just everybody accepts this number as being true. 66% and change of registered voters voted in the presidential election. Okay. You take 66% of the total registered in the country, you're 13 million short. Where the hell did that come from? I call it and I say this all the time, I call this the turtle on the fence post. Driving down the road, you see a turtle on a fence post. You pull over the car and go, what the hell? How the hell did that happen? Who put that turtle up there? Because you know he didn't do it by himself. And say you're with your lawyer friend in the car. Yeah, somebody put him up there. And the lawyer goes, prove it. Well, I can't. But the only explanation is somebody put him up there. Well, prove it. How is it you have 13 million more ballots cast than there are registered people? You don't have to be Sherlock Holmes. What is that rule? Occam's razor? Usually the simplest explanation is the correct one. Well, like I said again, they got away with it. But here's the weird part. Everybody's calling Trump a poor loser, a whiner, and blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'm a Trump supporter, obviously, and I'm going to admit it freely. I don't care. But here's the thing. You know what's worse than a poor loser is a poor winner. They're worse. They pulled it off. They pulled off the miracle. They used the cover of COVID-19 to twist and change all the election rules right up to the day of election in states like Pennsylvania, and even after Election Day without approval of their legislatures. No one can talk that way. No one can talk that the machines that take care of signature verification, because there's no way you could verify all of them by eyeball, you have to run them through machines. That there's a device that puts up the sensitivity, and all the sensitivities are dropped down in the major cities. Those are all facts. All facts. And it's a fact, it was part of the court case, that the Supreme Court, spineless individuals they are, wouldn't hear, in the fact that in Pennsylvania, when his signature didn't match, in Democrat cities, especially Philadelphia, people were allowed to come in and correct their signature. But in Western Pennsylvania, which is heavily Republican, they weren't allowed to do that, or they weren't offered. Equal protection under the law. That's the 14th Amendment. I mean, I'm not a constitutional scholar. I'm not even a lawyer. I'm just a small-time businessman as a former city council member in upstate New York. I'm no big deal. I don't have that kind of education, but I even know that. They made it look like they cheated. No. I have my opinions. The anomalies are just too many. I remember I saw a video, I think it was Arizona, a state that Trump supposedly lost, where it shows the video, it must have been a drone, of a rally on a highway, both sides of the road. 96 miles long. A state like Arizona, which doesn't have a huge population, had a rally where both sides were filled with cars on the shoulders and cars going up and down the highway. All Trump people. 96 miles. Those of you, wherever you live, look at the map, put out 96 miles and put a circle. That's how far 96 miles is. It's a huge amount of miles. You could probably see it from almost from space. And yet he lost that state. These things just don't add up. They just don't. But the electoral votes will be cast. They'll be challenged. They'll be voted on. And Joe Biden will be the next president and sworn in on January 20th. Which by coincidence is my ex-wife's birthday. But I digress. It's amazing. It's amazing. They pulled it off. And tomorrow is the 2 runoff elections in Georgia. By a weird circumstance, they're both in the same state. And the one individual, Mr. Senator Perdue, got 49.7% of the vote before to cause this runoff. It's amazing to me because the third-party candidate screwed him. It's like if somebody wrote a movie like this, that a populist president and all the chicanery that went on and all the turmoil and all the controversy, and I'm going to admit Trump's a controversial figure. I mean, he asked for the controversy. I'm not even going to spin words, mince words, nothing. Yeah, sometimes his personality sucks, and often, he says the wrong thing. Maybe he should tone it down a little bit? Sure. I don't give a shit. I care about his policies. Just like I don't care about Joe Biden's personality, if he has one. At least Trump has one. He might not like it, but at least he has one. As my grandma used to say, he has the personality of an egg. But I care about his policies. If he could find another president, I don't care if he's Democrat or not, they had the exact same policies as Trump with immigration, taxes, energy sufficiency and independence, and all those other things. Immigration, I'd vote for him in a heartbeat. I wouldn't give a damn if it was a woman, man, or what party. I could care less. It's the policies that are important. This is the Democrats' last shot. If they don't win tomorrow, they're finished. This is one of those deals where you are pushing your chips all in. You're going to come away a huge winner, or you're going to walk away with your tail between your legs. There's no in between on this one. Because if the Senate holds for the Republicans, the Democrat Party will self-destruct. It already is. And maybe that'll be a good thing. And maybe Democrats can rebuild. But even Republicans too, because a lot of these neocons that are there now in the Republican Party, they're just as bad as the progressive morons on the left. I'm a strong believer. What I believe in? I believe in the Constitution as written. As written. And there's been scores of books and articles and publications that have gone through with the founders and all of their writings over the years, what they mean, what all the Constitution means, and what was their intention. There's no misinterpreting, even though they do twist it. So we're going to see. But I know I got off track here from the Proud Boys leader being arrested, but I think it's all tied in. It's all tied in. The whole world is watching. And we're holding our breath and praying. And until next time, goodbye and good luck.